China's marriage market today is witnessing a dramatic reversal. Men are waking up, while women are forced to lower their own value. For decades, marriage was regarded as the sole yardstick of success in a person's life, placing crushing pressure on men. No house, no car, no bride price, no lavish wedding banquet meant no wife. So millions slaved day and night just to exchange a lifetime of labor for one marriage certificate. Yet between 2020 and 2025, that old order has completely collapsed. The moment men began asking, is it worth trading freedom, wealth, and the joy of living for marriage, women started losing the upper hand, and across the country, once arrogant goddesses are now humbling themselves to seek partners while men calmly turn away, choosing single life as a triumphant declaration of victory.
I have a strong feeling. This year, many women will start to feel pressured to marry, even forcing their boyfriends to borrow money just to prepare the betrothal gift. But many men are truly exhausted. They've decided to tangping, to lie flat, to simply not marry anymore. And within 3 years, I can already picture it, many women, suddenly struck by anxiety, will start asking, I don't even care about the money anymore, so why won't you marry me? The current marriage market is severely distorted, with far more women than men. And yet, men are staying put. They've already figured it out, it's a trap. A few years from now, as many women grow older, younger women will begin to accept older men. When that happens, the older a woman becomes, the harder it will be for her to marry. I can sense what's coming. Many women will start lowering their standards. No need for a betrothal gift. No need for a house. Renting is fine. As long as they can just get married.
我今年34岁了，还是个光棍，没有结婚。
This year I'm turning 34, and I'm still single. I'm not married. My mother nags me every single day, telling me to hurry up and find a wife. But seriously, what's the point of getting married? Right now, I make my own money and I spend it on myself. I eat meat, drink alcohol, live the way I like, and I still can't finish spending what I earn. If I got married and had a kid, I'd be the only one working while 3 people spend the money. And then I'd still get blamed for not being capable enough. What's the point of a marriage like that? Right now I earn 260 yuan a day, and since I sleep at the company, I barely spend anything. In a year I can save tens of thousands of yuan, put it in the bank, and the interest alone gives me enough cushion to live comfortably. If I got married, I could work an entire year and still have nothing left. I didn't come into this world to continue the family line. I came here to enjoy life, not to carry pressure on my back.
The stories circulating across the internet illustrate, more clearly than ever, how pragmatic Chinese men have become. They no longer believe in love measured by material value, and they refuse to accept a system in which emotional commitment is tied to financial sacrifice. For example, a man from Ningdu agreed to pay a bride price of 200,000 yuan, but he set clear conditions in return. If his wife were to betray him, the full amount must be refunded. If the marriage ended within 3 years, 80% must be returned, and within 5 years, 50%. Chinese men are no longer blindly embracing the fantasy of unconditional love, and instead are beginning to reclaim their rights and demand fairness within marriage.
The biggest consumption downgrade is that men have stopped getting married. It's like they suddenly woke up and realized one thing. Earning money for yourself and spending it on yourself is actually the most cost-effective way to live. You no longer have to rack your brain thinking about gifts. And you don't have to use up your energy trying to keep a girlfriend happy. The moment you let go of the idea of marriage and having kids, you realize that even with a monthly income of 4,000 yuan, you can live pretty well. No mortgage, no car loan, no burden for the next generation. And all your time and money are yours to use. After work, you get a little exercise. Then go out for barbecue with friends. And days like that feel more fulfilling than anything else.
Increasingly, Chinese men are openly embracing the 5 principles of refusal: refusing to date, refusing to marry, refusing to have children, refusing to spend money on women, and refusing to become a second father figure to women who expect to be treated like princesses. They argue that without marriage they incur no debt, face no comparisons with others, avoid financial exploitation, and most importantly, never have to shoulder lifelong responsibility for someone else's dreams. This self-reliant stance has spread like wildfire, transforming into a nationwide trend where emotional detachment from relationships is normalized and choosing not to marry is celebrated as the ultimate form of personal liberation.
婚恋市场真的是越来越奇葩了。前几天
The marriage market in China is becoming more and more bizarre these days. The other day, a massive matchmaking event was held in Shenzhen, and what I saw there was honestly shocking. More than 10,000 women packed into the venue, so crowded that people could barely move. Meanwhile, the number of men didn't even reach 500. Which means about 20 women were competing over a single man. It was a scene you could hardly bear to look at. And what's even more unbelievable is that, at some of Shenzhen's so-called high-end matchmaking parties, the gender ratio has reached 1 to 50. In other words, 50 women surrounding one man. And now, the entire matchmaking platform system has become completely distorted. Women are charged high fees. And if they want to upgrade to VIP status, they have to pay several thousand yuan. Meanwhile, men can register for free. And the platforms even throw in gifts just to lure them in. So, where have all the men gone? Why have they collectively disappeared from the marriage market? If you want, I can continue with the next HT segment.
At the same time, many men have been recounting the strange experiences they have had at matchmaking events. Quite a few women attend not to genuinely get to know someone, but simply with the mindset of enjoying a free dinner. Some order large quantities of expensive dishes, and whatever they cannot finish, they ask to have packed so they can bring it home to their family. Even more troubling are cases in which a woman brings her mother, aunt, or cousins, claiming that the family should also take a look, while in reality turning the occasion into a family meal at the man's expense. The purpose, ultimately, is to take advantage of the gentlemanly goodwill of men and convert it into a convenient opportunity for consumption.
看个视频。
Take a look at this video.
My blind date partner invited me out for a meal. He told me, order anything you like. So I said, well, I'll just order a little seasonal food. And then I ordered king crab, black tiger shrimp, and Xiaomi sea cucumber. The dishes looked delicious. So I added 3 more plates of Xiaomi sea cucumber and 5 bowls of bird's nest. And I said, I want to take these home for my friends to try. Then I ordered another king crab, saying, this one is for my younger brother. He's never had it before. At that moment, the guy was still smiling and seemed to be enjoying himself. But halfway through the meal, he said, let me step out to take a call. Went outside. And never came back. He wouldn't answer my calls. And he had already blocked me on WeChat. I had no choice but to pay with my credit card. The total was over 30,000 yuan. After that, he completely vanished. He really treated me horribly. I've never seen someone that shameless. If he didn't have money, he shouldn't have come to a blind date in the first place.
You didn't go there for a date. You went there to stock up on supplies, didn't you? Your friends and your brother have never eaten these things? Then why didn't you pack some for your dad, your mom, your grandma, and your grandpa too? How can someone with no money to spare still have the nerve to order luxury dishes like that? And why is it that, just because it's a blind date, the man is required to pay? And even worse, using that chance to squeeze money out of him? And that guy who walked out halfway and never came back? Honestly, he's a legend.
Many men feel humiliated by these phenomena, and although women defend themselves by saying they were merely testing whether the other party was sincere, men see it as nothing short of an insult. Love is being replaced by financial tests, and sincerity is being treated as a tool for entertainment. This excessively transactional mindset is pushing many men out of the dating market altogether, producing a rare form of collective awakening in contemporary society.
女子相亲订单了23个起。
A woman brought 23 relatives to a blind date. And the bill exceeded 20,000 yuan. The man tried to escape the payment by slipping out of the restaurant. And the incident eventually ended up in court. This man had met the woman through an acquaintance. And agreed to meet at a high-end local restaurant. But to his surprise, the woman showed up with 23 relatives and friends. As soon as they sat down, the whole group began ordering one expensive dish after another, quickly filling the table with lavish delicacies. When the meal was over, the server brought the bill. More than 20,000 yuan. The man couldn't believe his eyes and was speechless for a moment. Finally, he said, "I'm just going to the restroom." Walked out of the restaurant. And never came back.
Men are withdrawing from the marriage market, while women are growing increasingly anxious. They once took it for granted to demand a 300,000 yuan betrothal gift, a new home, a luxury car, and a lavish wedding, but now they are beginning to lower their own asking price. They openly declare, "I don't need a car or a house. I don't need a betrothal gift. I can even contribute 50,000 yuan myself, as long as he's an ordinary, decent man." What would have sounded like a joke 10 years ago has now become reality. Statistics show that in Beijing alone, the number of unmarried women over 30 has exceeded 1 million, and the gender ratio on matchmaking platforms has reached 1 man to 20 women. Highly educated and professionally successful career women, who once took pride in their status, now face a bitter irony: the more accomplished they are, the slimmer their marriage prospects become. This is because men of similar standing have either exited the market entirely or are choosing younger women with far fewer demands. A 34-year-old woman earning 500,000 yuan a year laments, "I don't need a car or a house anymore. If he just works honestly in Hangzhou, that's enough. I'll prepare everything. I only want him to be a sincere person." Even after lowering her expectations this far, she still hasn't found an ideal partner.
我不要彩礼，车房我也。
I don't need a bride price. I don't need a car or a house. We all come from ordinary families. And not everyone can afford 1 or 2 million yuan. Besides, I'm not with someone for money or status. I'm with him because I genuinely like who he is. I believe that the happiness of two people is the most important thing.
In China's major cities today, the marriage market presents a strange scene. Women line up to introduce themselves, and men simply stand by in silence watching them. In some places, 50 women compete for a single unmarried man. Some observers call this an inverted market, in which women desperately lower their own value, while men quietly watch from the sidelines.
现在这个时代很有可能已经是女追男。
It might be that we're already living in an era where women are the ones chasing men. A little while ago, I got a DM from a 32-year-old woman. She told me this. Until I turned 30, I absolutely refused to compromise. I wanted to marry a high-spec man, no matter what. But then she realized something. Men with good conditions don't need the time or the effort to pursue women. Because young and beautiful women naturally go to them on their own. After that, as she got older, she lowered her standards and said, "At least an average man is fine." But even then, she was crushed. Because even today's average men no longer bother to chase women. Modern men are nothing like before. They prioritize enjoying themselves. Spend their money on themselves. Go to the gym, play games, travel. And live their lives freely, each in their own way.
Why have men become this indifferent? One reason is that they have witnessed far too many cases of being taken advantage of. High betrothal payments, real estate registrations shared in name, and the reality of being treated like a money-making machine, these things have made many men realize something. If marriage only means taking on debt, then it is better to live alone. With a modest standard of living, a man can get by perfectly well without a wife or children. He can eat what he likes, play games, travel, and live without having to please anyone. Online, there are countless blunt comments like this. Marriage today is no longer about love. It's a financial contract. She sets the price, I calculate the risk, and I simply decide not to invest. It sounds like a joke, but it reflects a harsh truth. The concepts of love and marriage have become so commercialized that people are gradually losing sight of their original meaning.
为什么大部分
Why do so many people tell women to lower their standards when choosing a husband? It's because most women set expectations way above their actual level and real value, and the funniest part is, they don't even realize it. Of course, women naturally prefer a stronger man. Men, on the other hand, are perfectly okay with someone at their level or even slightly below. But whether you aim high or settle low, the gap can't be too huge. One more thing, man or woman, your demands have to stay realistic. If your ideals are sky high, one day you'll wake up and it's already too late, the boat has sailed. The older you get, the worse your position becomes. So while you're still young, don't let your expectations fly out of reach.
For years, tsundere CEO dramas and fairy tale romances have made Chinese women dream of a love that combines wealth and romance. But as age and reality hit hard, they realized that tsundere CEO only exists in novels. Those who once dreamed of betting their whole life on love now accept that modern men no longer place blind romantic bets. A 36-year-old female blogger says, "I thought if I worked hard enough, I'd meet someone worthy. But when I succeeded, men at my level chose younger women, and those below just didn't feel right." Her words echo the hearts of millions, trapped between ideals and reality, between pride and loneliness.
今年38岁，硕士毕业，大龄优质生。
I'm 38 this year, and I have a master's degree. I once posted 2 videos saying I was looking for a partner, and then the comments section turned into chaos. A bunch of women started posting selfies. And they were all saying, I don't need any bride price. While fighting over the man I had my eye on. Ladies, please. I'm already 38. Could you let me have the chance first? Can we stop fighting over the same man? When you flood the comments with all those selfies, my market value just keeps dropping.
China's marriage market today is like a mirror reflecting society itself. Men, scarred by past experiences, have woken up. Women, despite growing older, are gripped by panic at the reality of remaining unmarried. What was once supposed to be a warm union, Chinese society has gradually turned into a cold transaction. The ancients said, when the family is in harmony, everything prospers. That harmony does not come from money or betrothal gifts, but from empathy, responsibility, and the willingness to truly understand one another.